It has been a fantastic day so far in Southern Florida here at NPGL and NPGL.com. It's time for the fourth quarterfinal of the day. The Miami Surge, the local team, going up against the Los Angeles Reign. Right away, we start with race number one. One man, one woman on the grid. The reps descending 5, 4, 3, 2 of both snatch and box jump over. Alongside Leah Kay, I'm Craig Ummer, and Leah, we've talked time and time again throughout not just the combines, but the matches throughout the day. Setting a solid pace and winning this first race has proved to be beneficial for the teams that can do it.
Yeah, and one of the biggest things we've seen as far as strategy for this race is really those transition times. If you can get away with less transition time between the different segments of the grid, you really can pick up some time there.
Each grid, 5, then 4, then 3. They'll finish in the fourth grid with 2 reps. In terms of the snatch, the weight ascends from 155 to 245 for the men. For the women, 105 to 145.
And 145 is not a lightweight for some of these ladies, so you're going to see who really has some of the strength aspects of this.
Look at the box jumps. The height for the men will stay at 30 for the first 2 grids, 24 for the first 2 in the women's category. Then it jumps up to 36 for the men and 30 inches for the women.
You can see right now on the box jump, we've got the lateral box jump really is what they're going for. And that's a smart move because you save a lot of time going laterally.
To be the #1 team at the end of this first season.
This team has some amazing names on it, really big names. They signed a lot of people early. You know, on the men's side, we've got Jeremy Kinnick, and he's been around for a long time. Really, really strong athlete. He's got a huge deadlift. And then Chris Clever on the women's side, I mean, her gymnastic skills are incredible. She's not as strong as some of the other girls, but...
we will see 40 thrusters from 3 men and 3 women. The time limit, 5 minutes, and the judges will be watching form.
Yeah, on this race, really, some big things we got to look at. The barbell can't touch the ground, so communication is huge here. You're going to see a lot of communication between these athletes. Also, reps by going too quickly without the other team or the other gender matching them.
Leah, you were part of the combines, dead even as each team moves into the third quadrant.
We're waiting on a transition, though, from LA, so they're going to be behind now.
That's Chris Clever again for LA for the women taking the bar.
Yep.
Miami, a slight advantage.
Come on, lock it out, girl.
And now
36, 37,
Wayne Willett closing the gap slightly there for Los Angeles.
40.
LA starts the chest to bar pull-ups first.
Jacob Anderson's on the bar for Miami. He's one of the gymnastic specialists, and you can see his cycle time is incredibly fast for this.
Transitional technique is Miami holds a slight edge in reps. We're only 1 minute and 20 seconds into this exercise. 5 minutes the time limit, but as it seems, neither team going to have to worry about that.
Michael Hernandez on the bar for LA, making quick work of those chest to bars. Both teams jump on that rope. Stronger men on the LA team right now that are racing today. For Miami, we've got Ricky Redis on the ground overhead. He's a weightlifting specialist, currently training under Ursula Garza.
On the left-hand side of your screen, Michael Hernandez with his back to the camera will now take over for Los Angeles. Miami doing
a close race.
I was just going to say, Miami doing a great
in this match. Isn't seeming to have any problem right now.
So far, so good for Miami, able to keep that slight advantage with only 6 reps to go.
Now we're transitioning into that clean and jerk. It's a little less taxing cardiovascularly and grip-wise. Oh.
Hernandez was able to pull LA very close down to the final 2 reps for the Surge. And Ricky do it. Last one, it counts. Miami gets another victory. Wayne Willett, disappointment evident as he drops the bar, and LA will finish under the time limit, but take second place.
It's a game changer there for LA.
Give Michael Hernandez credit here for Los Angeles. He brought them even late in the game, but Miami's considering this sport can be.
It's high intensity all the time. The speed is 110%.
And we've talked a lot with the coaches as well as the athletes, Leia, and they have all told us that really where the biggest gains are going to be, they feel in this sport, is that athletes are going to start to specifically train for grid.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to adjust your training for this type of a sport. You've got to be fast. I mean, it's hard, heavy, fast. That's basically what we've got going on. We've got those gymnastics elements, but the intensity. See these athletes doing Coppola having some trouble getting his feet locked on the rope. That's going to cost Miami some time.
Well, in race 5, there was a fault on the touch. No such thing in race 6 for LA. So that means they're a rep ahead. As Michael Hernandez heads up the rope for the 4th time, and Jeremy Kinnick gets ready on the ground overhead. Continues to have a great cycle rate and just looks consistent, almost like a metronome.
He's a hometown favorite for me. Both teams have now gone to the clean and jerk, as I'm sure their grip strength has weakened. It's a little less taxing on your grip doing this clean and jerk method.
You can weight from 115 all the way up to 340, but it's not just about who can lift the most.
There is so much strategy with this race. I actually think of all the races, this probably has the most strategy. You've got 10 athletes that you have to get through this ladder with only 7 minutes to do it. That doesn't give you much time per athlete.
2 points.
Can't quite hold on to that one. It's really important with this race that athletes not waste time trying to get just 1 bar heavier if they're already struggling. You've only got about 40 seconds per athlete to get through this ladder if you want everybody to get a chance.
Lauren Truskowski for Miami now running off the grid. And a great point by you, partner, in terms of if you start to maximize in that strategy category. You said it's around 40 to 42 seconds of optimal weight lifting. That's what you need to concentrate on.
Right. You don't need to be. A lot of these athletes are new to this sport, and they're used to ladders, really wanting to clear the ladder.
Race 8 features 3 bodyweight elements with the work shared between 1 male and 1 female. They must complete 60 handstand push-ups with a 5-inch deficit, then 30 handstand push-ups with a 10-inch deficit, and then 10 freestanding handstand push-ups, all within a 6-minute time cap.
Race number 8, as described. You got to be able to do things upside down.
Yeah, well, the last race was all about the strength, and now we move into gymnastics elements. Jacob Anderson on the grid for the Surge. Interesting story, his brother is also a member of the team, Alex Anderson, and their other brother, Z.A. Anderson, is a pretty big name in the world of functional fitness as well. They have a ridiculously fit family.
But just he knew he wasn't going to compete in the league this year. Meanwhile, LA doing a great job, 10-rep lead at the moment.
We're seeing some strict handstand push-ups here, and that is actually a faster movement, but you can fatigue very easily.
After they do
handstand push-ups, just brushing through those.
LA scratching and clawing Miami. They each move to the freestanding handstand push-ups.
This is an extremely challenging movement. You have to have so much balance and strength, core strength. I've tried them before. It doesn't look pretty.
Going into this event, both these coaches knew this could be pivotal. And just like that, LA gets a much-needed victory. Michael Hernandez finishing it off for the Reign. And when they needed a win, LA got it. That pulls them to within 5. No problem in terms of the time limit. It was 6 minutes. They win in about half that time.
Those handstands, she actually told me earlier that handstand push-ups were one of her movements that she really enjoyed.
A man who enjoyed the freestanding handstand push-up, Michael Hernandez.
And we were talking earlier, Michael Hernandez was a late pickup for LA. He didn't go to the 10th round, but he's really proved to be important with these gymnastics movements.
It had been a while since LA had notched a win, but in race 8, they do it. They close to within 5. Coming up, race number 9. We're back to the women.
The 4-man, 4-women relay. There are 8 different stations. Each team member must complete one station, run to the start line, touch, then sprint to the finish line before the next athlete begins. The one exception is the handstand walk, which ends when the athlete fully crosses the finish line. In true gender parity, any athlete may work on any station and substitutions are allowed. This is the fastest race of the match. Proper assignment of each athlete to the right station will determine the winner. The winner earns 3 points, second earns 1 point, or no points for a non-completion.
Going to showcase what happened here today. Miami was dominant.
Yeah, all the way through. No issues with their transitions. Didn't let that ring slow them down. And they just really put on a show for us at the end.
And with 4 reps still to go.
And you'll see one of the great things about this community, that even though Miami is finished, they're there on the grid cheering on LA to finish his final reps.
Our last semifinal, our last quarterfinal in the books. Miami will win 20-13 is the final score, but as you highlighted, Leah, a great final showcase of that sportsmanship and what this new league is about.
Yeah, it's just, everyone's so excited for this. I mean, right here we've got both teams congratulating each other, cheering each other on. It's what it's all about.
Miami scores 3 in the final race, 3-1 the advantage, giving them a whopping total of 7 at the end. We'll be back to wrap things up. Miami's moving on to the semifinals. We'll see them tomorrow.